Hi there and welcome to Lorena's Labyrinth. My name's Anna Pirelli. The comments that you see here are my views, beliefs, opinions, and sometimes they are not even my fully formed views, beliefs, and opinions. However, they are my understandings. Please do retain an open mind and reflect on any of the content and your comfort levels. If your views differ, please feel free to leave a comment. Also remember, it is possible to disagree in respectful ways. My way is not necessarily your way and vice versa. You might also find that some of the content on this playlist in regard to spiritual or universal laws, it resonates with you, meaning it feels right to you, while other laws may not feel right or they may not feel comfortable. If this is the case, the information is either not right for you or it is not right for you right now, and it might never be right for you at any given time. It really doesn't matter. As an earthy and practical person, I can put my hand up with all honesty and say that I have at different times had the same feelings about some of the content in here. And with some of them, I still have a level of skepticism within my viewpoints, but I choose to retain an open mind about the things that I don't fully understand for a few reasons. Firstly, because I believe it would be supreme arrogance to think that we all know all of the answers while we have a body. And because what is right for one of us is not necessarily right or suitable for all of us, and I choose to respect the differences. Please do leave your opinions, beliefs. Feel free to argue the points in a respectful way with any of the content on the slides and even my interpretations. And if you feel that you can add clarity around some of the content, we would all love to see it. Thank you. For now, though, let's explore the laws.
All creation is governed by law. The principles that operate in the outer universe, discoverable by scientists, are called natural laws. But there are subtler laws that rule the hidden spiritual planes and the inner realm of consciousness. Contained within these laws, or conditions, is the true nature of matter. Knowledge of these laws has an effect upon the mental urges. Mind is the builder. Stay in full mindfulness of the application of universal law as related to self and to others, and know that in love all life is given, in love all things move. In giving one attains, in giving one acquires. In giving, love becomes the fulfillment of desire, guided and directed in the ways that bring the more perfect knowledge of self as related to the universal, all-powerful, all-guiding, all divine influence in life. Love is life. When we go back, merge with the God source, in some infinitesimal but profound way, we expand the mind of God. Our higher self always points the best and most perfect way, and it is ours to listen and choose or reject what we hear. It does not blame, but patiently tries again to show the perfect way, the loving way. All of creation pushes forth. We are ever becoming. Identity ever remains. Universal Law number 79, the Law of Repulse. This is also known as the Law of all destroying angels, and its symbol is an angel with a flaming sword, turning in all directions. It is the angel guarding the treasure, driving man forth in search of another way of entrance, thus forcing him through the cycle of rebirth until he finds the portal of initiation. The ray energy is rejecting energy of first ray, the dispersing factor.
Well, I must admit when I read this paragraph that I had a bit of a gasp, and I will say I find the language or the choice of words almost a tad repulsive myself. When we talk about the word destroy, we actually mean, I thought, to clarify my emotional response to the use of words here, I thought, a good place to start is what do we mean by the word destroy? And by definition, to destroy is to end the existence of by damaging it, or to attack it, or to totally break a person spiritually or emotionally, or to defeat something utterly and frankly. And it just sounds horrible. And to associate this law of repulse with angels, to me, is this bit that causes me a little bit of what they would call cognitive dissonance. I'm not particularly comfortable with it. As far as an angel with a flaming sword, did you hear that? Goodness me, what am I thinking of? The image of the angel with a flaming sword where it turns in all directions, that would be a description that I actually would apply to Archangel Michael and his legion of angels. And I'd never thought to apply the word destroying or even destructive to Archangel Michael, because obviously I associate him as one of the highest, if not the highest order of the angels. And if we're into the Bible, he actually is the most senior angel of all of them, because he's the protector, and according to the Bible, he's the right-hand side of the Creator. Anyway, what I would agree with is that I do perceive him to be as a guardian, and if you like, the driver. He drives us forward, he propels us to find the way into our spiritual path, and that in itself might not be a good description. So how could I sort of say this? Okay, my understanding is that his tasks involve reigniting our vitality for life, our desire to live our earthly experience and to be able to connect with the Creator so that we can walk the divine path in the divine idea. So from that perspective, we can draw upon his energy and healing powers to move forward, I guess is the only way to describe it, in our life. And if we're aligned with divine will, this is the other part of it, then life becomes easier. So we also draw upon the energy of Archangel Michael to shift barriers and blocks or impediments to our path, for us to be able to achieve the divine blueprint. And of course, when we talk about removing impediments under the divine idea, my understanding has always been that it is done with love and kindness, with the best outcome for all parties. Now, if I've got time and if I remember, I'll come back to explain that to you, what I mean by that, and how we can resolve even the worst conflicts in positive ways. But either way, okay, back to this. I've lost my spot. I'm trying to think. Okay, so just the little point here about clearing the path of obstacles. Some obstacles have to remain on the path because they're part of our divine blueprint. We agreed to try and overcome these challenges. Well, not to try, that we would, because we're going to overcome them anyway. You know what I mean? Sooner or later, we'll get through it. And that's what we have to hold on to, I guess. But we've agreed to certain challenges there. So anyway, going back to this, I find words like the use of the word initiation to indicate a level of superiority. That might be my issue and the way I see words, but you know, it is what it is. Is there initiation? Is it a conscious thing, or is it something that just happens as we walk our path? From my perspective, I think yes, there was an initiation, if I'm honest about this, as far as developing and walking my path consciously. I went and I did the Reiki attunements. I had no idea what I was doing. People will know that. I thought I was going in there to buy a bottle of some oil type thing, and it turned out it was a spiritual initiation. You may laugh. Yes, I was completely ignorant. Okay. So yeah, there was an initiation there, but my understanding, okay, I'll put something to you, something that was told to me years ago, is not everybody who does healing work actually goes and does a Reiki attunement, for example. And in fact, an Aboriginal lady brought to me a lady from the bush areas. She was a tribal healer, and she was becoming unwell because she was actually taking on the physical symptoms of the people that she was doing healing on. Anyway, she was brought to me so that I could show her how to let the symptoms go, because sometimes it could take her up to about a week. I'm getting energy just thinking about it. For her to actually get back full function after doing a healing. And I'd actually done a healing on an Aboriginal lady. And I just want to clarify here, put this disclaimer in. I had acted as a healing vessel. So it's not me does the healing, I act as a vessel. So I had participated in a healing with an Aboriginal lady, and obviously it didn't take me weeks to get over doing the healing treatment. And so when she connected with this Aboriginal lady out in the bush, she brought her in to see me. So anyway, that's that. So where I'm going with this is, The Aboriginal lady in the bush, she was born with her gifts. As far as an initiation goes within the Western context, what has been put to me is that some people are born with their gifts because they've received some form of initiation in a previous life, and so therefore they don't need it in this lifetime. That's one of those ideas or things that you get told. You go, well, that's an interesting concept. I'm going to put that on the shelf. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. Doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, all that matters really is what is. Can this person do healing right now? Do they know how to channel energy? Are they comfortable channeling it? And are they able to self-care in the process? So just putting that there. I'm really off on a tangent today. Whatever. Hang in there with me. We'll see where we go. Right. Another little bit. Okay. So today I'm not really making conclusions about this particular law. I'm just outlining different bits and pieces I've picked up along the way, what people have said to me, and speculating on how that might apply within the content of this slide. So the other thing is, I was reminded, because this passage refers to the rebirth, just let me find it again. Yeah, the rebirth, initiation, and the first ray and that kind of stuff. I do believe clearly it is related to Archangel Michael, okay, and his Legion of Angels. It's just a poor choice of words. But the other thing that I want to mention was something that is a fairly new piece of information that, well, I don't know that it's new, but some information I revisited, and this is another one of those things that I hear, I read. If I have time, I'll sit around and I'll reflect on it and see if it has meaning for me and if it resonates and feels true to me. And I haven't taken the time yet to actually reflect on this. But what I saw was that the position that Archangel Michael is the light being, if you like, who oversees the cycle of rebirth. And the author of the content that I was looking at described it. Once again, it's a case of language makes things complex to describe as well, but it read pretty complex yet simple at the same time. And the way I would interpret it is, it's not a case of Archangel Michael sits up there going like, now have you been a good boy or girl over your last lifetime? And we're at the crossroads here, which way am I going to send you? You're going up here with the pearly gates, the white pearly gates, or you're going down there to the flames. It wasn't put like that. It was put in the way that Archangel Michael, rather making a judgment over a person, that he measures the weight of the aura, and the more dense it is, means that, because actually we've talked about this many times, if you've checked out the other content, the aura does have weight. It's just that because the physical body is far more dense, as in, actually go and look at those videos so I don't have to repeat it. The more conscious, aware and spiritual we become, the more we raise our vibration, the lighter our energy is, and the less karma we've got to release, I guess. So where we're going with this is that Archangel Michael weighs our soul and determines from the weight of the soul whether or not we need to be born again, because we've got more stuff to unpack in the physical earth before we evolve past the process of further rebirths, if that makes sense. Good grief, I really hope I've articulated it effectively. So going back to the idea of destroy and destruct. Okay, when we talk about the first ray energy, I do understand this to be about the transmutation of anything that is less than love that's around us or within us, as far as imbalance in our chakras. And I want to clarify here too, this doesn't mean we see the images, obviously, like the one I've got up of Archangel Michael here with his blue sword, and you might see people with images of Archangel Michael kind of like one of the Star Trek guys pulling out his laser gun and blasting people, shattering them into oblivion. It's not like that. But it is a transmutation of energy. So I can understand then, to some extent, that this law is saying it's a destroyer, because as he transmutes this energy, it becomes dispersed. Yeah, I get that it's purified and dispersed and put back into the atmosphere for use to go wherever it needs to go. And so as far as calling them destroyer angels, I would rather see them referred to as angels of transmutation. Perhaps it's just about words, like I say. You might think the same, you might have a different viewpoint. And going back to, because I think I've got a couple of minutes and I'll just try and flash through it. Okay, when we talk about the transmutation of blocks, for example, I haven't done it, right? I haven't done it yet, but I've got an issue with the next door neighbour. Giving you a few tidbits here. He's not a bad person, he's just a neighbour from hell. That sounds very dual. Let me rephrase. Okay, he's just not a very sensitive neighbour, and boundaries seem to be really trivial to him and quite unimportant, and I find it a little bit irritating. So more recently, I've been thinking of, I haven't done it, I've been thinking of putting it out to the universe to have the problem solved in a positive way. Now, what that might mean, you know, when you ask for help and you hand it over, as in my context, I'm not going to apply the solution to the problem. It's not a huge problem, by the way, it's just an irritation. But I wouldn't apply the solution myself. I would let the universe determine which is the best outcome. Now, this might be a case of the neighbour moves house, suddenly decides that they're moving and relocating to a better place, a place which is more suitable to their needs, which probably would be an acre in a rural block with room for about 10 cars, I think might be the idea for them. Or alternatively, my life might make a change and I might end up moving, you know, which is actually something that, if I am honest now, that's not something that I seek to do right now. I don't see that as being a good option for me right now. That's not something I would like to do. But at the same time, if I trust the universe and I've put it out there for a problem to be solved, there may be an opportunity come up in the future that actually is much better than where I'm at now. So I've just got to be open to receive. So this is what I mean about the way it works as well from a transmutation perspective. And it's not about destroying people, it's about changing energy. That's where I wanted to go with it. We got there finally. Anyway, all right, I'm going to leave you to contemplate this particular slide and have a think, and please put your comments up, please put your thoughts up. Love you, leave you, catch you on the next one. Take care for now. Bye-bye.